Jai Gurudev, good day and welcome to this enlightening conversation. Today we have the honor of being in the presence of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, as well as a distinguished officer from the Vedic Dharma Sansthan. The topic of discussion revolves around the sacred figure of Lord Ram, the Ram Temple resolution, and the significance of the Ram Raksha Stotram. Let's begin by discussing the Ram Temple, its resolution, and what it means for millions of devotees worldwide. Officer, could you share your perspective? Jai Gurudev, and thank you for the opportunity to speak on this monumental subject. The Ram Temple in Ayodhya for millions of Hindus is not just a building but a spiritual cornerstone. The long awaited resolution to build the temple signifies more than a political or historical victory. It is a triumph of faith, unity, and devotion. Lord Ram's life is the foundation of our ethical and spiritual framework. He is the embodiment of Dharma, the ideal of righteousness. The temple will serve as a constant reminder of his teachings, his commitment to truth, and his unwavering pursuit of justice. For centuries, the land in Ayodhya has been a symbol of the connection between the Lord Ram and his devotees. The temple's construction represents the renewal of this bond, and it signals the return to the values that Lord Ram upheld: courage, honor, and devotion to God and duty. It's a powerful moment for the Hindu community and for the spiritual heritage of India. Indeed, the Ram temple represents much more than a structure. It signifies the continuity of a deep-rooted spiritual tradition. His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, would you be able to shed light on the spiritual significance of Lord Ram and how his presence in the form of the Ram temple influences our collective consciousness? Thank you for this important question. Yes, Lord Ram represents the highest ideals of human life. He is not just a historical figure, but an eternal principle and embodiment of divine consciousness. Ram itself means light, light within and light beyond. It's this inner radiance that we all seek, and Lord Ram's life shows us the path to realizing that light. The Ram temple is a physical manifestation of this divine light, a place where devotees can come together, meditate, and deepen their spiritual connection with the divine. But it's important to remember that the true temple is within each of us. Lord Ram's story and the Ram Raksha Stotram, which we recite to invoke his protection and blessings, are not just about seeking safety in the material world. They guide us towards spiritual protection and awakening. Exactly, Gurudev. The Ram Raksha Stotram is an essential part of this connection. It's a powerful prayer that invokes Lord Ram's divine protection, both in the material and spiritual realms. The Stotra's verses remind us that when we live in alignment with Dharma, we are shielded from life's obstacles and negativities. Each of line of the Stotra is a shield that strengthens our inner resolve and helps us overcome adversities. That is fascinating. The Ram Raksha Stotra indeed carries profound significance. Can you tell us more about the origins and power of this stotra? Yes, the Ram Raksha Stotra was composed by the great sage Buddha Kaushika and is said to have been recited by him to Lord Ram himself. The stotra is composed of 38 verses, each addressing a different aspect of Lord Ram's divine attributes. It is believed that those who recite it regularly invoke Lord Ram's divine protection against physical, mental, and spiritual harm. The power of the stotra lies not only in its words but in the devotion and faith with which it is recited. When we recite this stotra, we are calling upon Lord Ram's divine energy to fortify us against negativity. It reminds us to live with resilience and courage, just as Lord Ram did throughout his life. The act of chanting this stotra is a form of spiritual warfare against the forces that try to disturb our peace and faith. That's enlightening. The act of chanting and the devotion that accompanies it seems to create a profound sense of inner peace and protection. It also brings to mind the relationship between language and spiritual awakening. Officer, you have mentioned that the English language has many words derived from Sanskrit. Could you elaborate on how language itself connects us to the divine teachings of Lord Ram? Yes, it's quite remarkable how the English language has borrowed so much from Sanskrit. For example, words like radiation and ray are derived from the Sanskrit word rashmi, meaning light or radiance. This connects to the essence of Lord Ram, whose name itself is symbolic of the inner light as we all seek to illuminate our lives. When we acknowledge this deep connection, it becomes evident that spiritual wisdom is embedded in the very fabric of language. The Vedic and Sanskrit texts contain timeless knowledge, and when we speak, think, or even chant in Sanskrit, we tap into that ancient wisdom. It's a way to align ourselves with the divine principles, as the sounds and vibrations of Sanskrit have a unique power to awaken consciousness. Absolutely, words have vibration, and every language has its own vibration. Sanskrit, with its purity and structure, holds a unique capacity to connect us to the higher states of awareness. When we recite mantras like the Ram Raksha Stotra, we are not just speaking words, we are tapping into the energy behind those words, which carry the essence of the divine. It's so inspiring to think about how the words and prayers we speak can hold such immense power. As we reflect on Lord Ram's teachings, the Ram Temple, and the practice of the Ram Raksha Stotram, how can these elements help individuals in their spiritual journey? Spiritual growth begins with connection to the divine, connection to our true selves, and connection to our dharma. The Ram Temple is a place of connection where we can go and experience Lord Ram's divine presence. But spiritual growth is not limited to that physical space. When we internalize the teachings of Lord Ram through practices like chanting the Ram Raksha Sutra, meditating, and following the path of Dharma, we begin to transform from within. Exactly, spiritual growth is about becoming more aware of our own inner nature and understanding that the divine is within us. Lord Ram's teachings show us that how to deal with challenges with grace, how to live with integrity, and how to always be rooted in truth. When we incorporate these principles into our daily lives, we elevate not just ourselves but those around us. As we conclude this conversation, I would like to ask both of you, what is the key message you would like to leave our listeners with regarding the Ram Temple, the Lord Ram's teachings, and the power of the Ram Raksha Stotram? My message would be simple. The Ram Temple is a symbol of hope and renewal. But remember, the true temple is inside you. By embracing Lord Ram's teachings and practicing devotion through rituals like the Ram Raksha Stotram, we can transform ourselves and the world around us. The journey of Dharma is a lifelong one, and it begins with the light within. I would like to say that Lord Ram represents the divine qualities that we all possess. The more we connect with him through chanting, meditation, and living with Dharma, the more we realize our own divine potential. May we all embody Lord Ram's virtues and strive to live in peace, love, and righteousness. The Ram Temple is a manifestation of that collective aspiration. Thank you so much, Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, and the officer from the Vedic Dharma Sansthan, for sharing your wisdom with us today. May Lord Ram's blessings guide us all towards spiritual awakening, peace, and prosperity. Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev, good day and welcome to this insightful interview. Today we are privileged to have with us His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, as well as an esteemed officer from the Vedic Dharma Sansthan. We will be discussing the profound significance of Lord Ram, the much awaited Ram Temple resolution, and the spiritual power of the Ram Raksha Stotram. To start with, I would like to ask the officer about the resolution regarding the Ram Temple in Ayodhya. Can you share your thoughts on the spiritual and historical importance of this resolution? Jai Gurudev. And thank you for having me. The Ram Temple in Ayodhya holds an extraordinary place in the hearts of millions of Hindus. Its resolution marks not just the construction of a physical temple, but the reaffirmation of the spiritual connection that millions of devotees share with Lord Ram. It's about restoring the sanctity and respect for a sacred site that has long been associated with Lord Ram's birthplace for centuries. The people of India have prayed for the construction of this temple. It has been a symbol of faith, patience, and devotion. The temple represents not only the revival of religious sentiment, but also the victory of dharma or righteousness over adharma or unrighteousness. It is an affirmation that faith and perseverance can overcome even the greatest of challenges. It's truly a significant moment in history. Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, as we witness the Ram Temple coming into being, could you share with us the deeper spiritual symbolism of Lord Ram in this context? Thank you for the question. Lord Ram is not just a historical figure, he is the very embodiment of Dharma. His life teaches us about the principles of truth, justice, compassion, and righteousness. The Ram Temple is more than a physical structure, it is a symbol of the divine presence of Lord Ram on earth. But the true Ram Temple is inside each one of us. Lord Ram represents the ideal human being, the one who is true to his word, one who upholds righteousness even in the face of adversity. His qualities transcend time and are applicable in every aspect of our lives. The Ram Temple serves as a reminder of these qualities. It brings together devotees from all walks of life to reflect on Lord Ram's teachings and to strengthen their connection with the divine. Yes, Gurudev, the temple is indeed a place of reflection, but more than that, it's a place to connect with the essence of Lord Ram's teachings. His teachings guide us on how to live a life of truth and integrity. The temple is a reminder to reconnect with these values in our everyday lives, to embody the virtues that Lord Ram demonstrated throughout his life. That's beautifully said. As we discuss Lord Ram and his teachings, one important aspect that comes to mind is the Ram Raksha Stotram. Officer, could you tell us about the significance of this ancient prayer? The Ram Raksha Stotram is a powerful prayer that is believed to invoke Lord Ram's divine protection. Composed by the sage Buddha Kaushika, it consists of 38 verses, each verse invoking Lord Ram's protection and blessings. The Ram Raksha Stotram is an expression of complete surrender to Lord Ram. It's a prayer for strength, protection, and guidance. When we recite the Ram Raksha Stotram, we align ourselves with the divine energy of Lord Ram. Each verse is like a shield protecting us from various challenges, whether physical, mental, or spiritual. The beauty of the stotra is that it not only protects us but also helps us cultivate resilience and spiritual strength. That is fascinating. The idea of using a prayer like the Ram Raksha Stotra to protect oneself resonates deeply. Gurudev, from a spiritual perspective, how does the practice of chanting such mantras like the Ram Raksha Stotra contribute to one's spiritual evolution? Chanting mantras like the Ram Raksha Stotra is not just about the repetition of words, it's about invoking divine energy. The vibrations of these sacred sounds have a profound effect on our consciousness. When we recite the sutra, we are aligning ourselves with Lord Ram's divine qualities. The practice purifies the mind, helps us to focus, and creates a sense of inner peace. Through the act of chanting, we are constantly reminded of the deeper truths of life. The Ram Raksha Sutram, in particular, teaches us that true protection comes from within. It helps us to develop a stronger sense of self and allows us to navigate life with grace, courage, and resilience, much like Lord Ram did in his own life. Absolutely, Gurudev. The very act of chanting the Ram Raksha Stotra is transformative. It is a way to elevate our consciousness, to remove the impurities of the mind, and to cultivate a deep sense of connection with Lord Ram. As we recite the verses, we invite Lord Ram's divine energy into our lives. It strengthens our spiritual resolve, shields us from negativity, and empowers us to live a life of virtue. This practice truly seems to provide both spiritual and practical benefits. Officer, you also mentioned earlier that many words in English are derived from Sanskrit. Could you elaborate on the significance of this connection and how it helps us understand Lord Ram's teachings on a deeper level? Yes, it's remarkable how much Sanskrit has influenced English. Words like radiation, ray, and even mind have their roots in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is a language that is rich in sound and meaning, and it carries a vibrational quality that resonates with the soul. When we use words derived from Sanskrit, especially in the context of spiritual practices like the chanting of mantras, we are tapping into a higher vibration of frequency. This connection between language and spirit is very important. The vibrations of these words, like Ram, which signifies the divine light, helps us connect more deeply with the principles of dharma that Lord Ram embodied. Exactly, and that's why the ancient scriptures written in Sanskrit hold such deep spiritual significance. Every word, every sound carries a vibration that has the potential to elevate our consciousness. It is this connection that makes Sanskrit so sacred. When we recite a prayer or chant a mantra, we are not just speaking, it's a dialogue with the universe itself. It is fascinating how the sound and vibration of words can align us with the divine. As we conclude this interview, what would you say, both say, is the core message of Lord Ram's teachings for today's world? The core message of Lord Ram's life is dharma, righteousness. Lord Ram showed us how to live with truth, honor, and compassion, even in the most difficult circumstances. The Ram Temple is a reminder to use that these values are the timeless and should guide us in our daily lives. We must strive to live with integrity, to uphold justice, and to stay connected with our spiritual roots. Lord Ram's message is eternal. It's about living in alignment with our highest self. His life was a model of dharma, and his teachings remind us that no matter how challenging life becomes, we can navigate it with inner strength, faith, and love. The Ram Temple and the practices associated with Lord Ram, like the Ram Raksha Stotram, are a means to reconnect with that divine light within us. So may we all embody the virtues that Lord Ram demonstrated, and may his blessings guide us towards peace, harmony, and spiritual awakening. Thank you so much, Gurudev, and the esteemed officer, for sharing your wisdom and insights with us today. It is clear that the Ram Temple, Lord Ram's teachings, and the practice of the Ram Raksha Sutra are powerful sources of spiritual nourishment. May Lord Ram's light guide us all. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Gurudev.